What's good, guys? Coming to you today with another car ride video. Happy Friday. I've had a long work week. I'm so excited that it's Friday and that I have Monday off. Drop down in the comments and tell me what you're excited about. I'm also excited about this book I read called Paper Heart by Keisha Ervin. And when I say I'm just like exasperated almost, I can hardly describe how I feel. Just to give you a little context as to why I am so excited. I'm also an author myself, and I'm very new to this. My first book was published in 2015, I believe, and including the year that it took to write the book. Yes, it took me a year to write the book. Don't do me. Don't do me. I gave up reading for 4 years. Now, while I enjoy and I love writing, reading is my first love. I have been reading chapter books since I was in the 3rd grade. I'm an avid reader. My mom is an avid reader, and with me being the only child, I guess sometimes I would become a nuisance, you know, with all my complaining about being bored, and so she would just tell me go read a book. So I literally have been reading Stephen King, V.C. Andrews, Terry McMillan, even Toni Morrison, even though I didn't understand any of the literary concepts in her books since I was in the 3rd grade. I love words. I love learning new words. I love, you know, creating opportunities for me to use those new words in a sentence. I read dictionaries and thesauruses for fun. Like, this is just how much I love to read. If uninterrupted, I can read a 700, 800 page book in a day, like nothing, like just straight devour it, for real. So for me to give up reading for 4 years is like a really, really, really big deal. But as an original content creator, it's important to me to maintain my integrity. And so I feel like it's important not to delve into other people's books. Just because I just have this fear of accidentally or subconsciously replicating the storyline or something like that. And that goes on a lot in these urban fic streets where storylines are replicated. And I just don't want to be a part of that, to be honest. And if you are an original content creator, then you understand that you want to have a clean slate while your creative juices are flowing. So there's that. So how I discovered Keisha, I stumbled upon her YouTube channel called Color Me Pink, Pink with the Y, and I fell in love with her instantly. She is an original content creator. She has different segments on her YouTube channel. She does TV show reviews. She has an original web series called Single Moms Meet. It's fucking hilarious. Like, seriously, go check her out on Color Me Pink, Pink with the Y. She also does her segment that she calls All Tea, All Shade. And basically, during that segment, she talks about what's going on in these celebrity streets and everything, give her 2 cents on what's going on. So I love Keisha. So when she mentioned that she was a published author, it really didn't surprise me, because I could tell that she just has the mind to be, she is a creative. She's a creative person. So it didn't surprise me. And she really doesn't use her channel to promote her books per se. She'll talk about her books, but I wouldn't say that, that's like the first thing that she does on her channel. So when I finally got some downtime, and I'm taking a break from writing a little bit, just trying to get some ideas, get myself together. I said, well, I have some downtime. Well, let me check Keisha out. She says she's a published author, so let me go check her out. So did that, started doing my research on her so that I could, choose which book I wanted to read by her. I knew she had wrote a few. Then I messed around, discovered, like, Keisha is not new to this. Keisha is true to this. Keisha has published 20 books. She's been in this game, has it been 10 years? If not, approaching 10 years. And most of all, what made me fall out of my chair was she's published under, one of her books is published under my all-time favorite author, Carl Weber. Like, ain't nobody fucking with Carl Weber. He is the end-all, be-all as far as authors go. As far as I'm concerned, nobody fucking with Carl Weber. Like, the way that man can write a story and just pull everything back together like it's fucking amazing. So when I saw that he, you know, was confident enough in Keisha's work to attach his name and his brand to her story, I was all in. I was already confident that the book would be good just from looking at Keisha on YouTube. Like, she has a very bright personality, she's smart, she's funny as fuck. Like, her comedic timing is just like like no other. She's conscious, you know what I mean? Like, she's very well rounded. So I already knew the book was going to be good. But when I saw that Carl Weber, am I saying that right? Is it Weber or Weber? Because that one B is throwing me off. Like, seriously, somebody correct me. Let me know if I'm saying that wrong. But when I saw that he co-signed her, or literally signed her, I was ecstatic. So one of the first things that I did was I just started looking at her book covers, see which one captured me. And the one that captured me the most was called Paper Heart. And the reason why it captured me is because, now who is this idiot driving? Listen, people in Charleston can't drive for shit. I'm telling you, like, these are like the dumbest people when it comes to driving on the road that I have ever seen. Yeah, I said it. Anyway, back to Keisha and Paper Heart. Her book cover stood out to me because, to be honest, a lot of book covers by black authors, like, they all look the same. Even my own book covers, I'm gonna be honest, they all look the same. You know, whatever's trendy, you know, at the time, whether it's title or certain images or what have you, they all look the same to me. So when I saw that her book it looked extremely different from everyone else's, I said, well, I'm going to go with Paper Heart. So the second thing I look for when I'm picking a book is the synopsis. Can the author write a synopsis? To me, that's an indicator of a great author. An author who understands that they should not put their book outline on the back of the damn book, giving away all the storyline, all the climactic elements. I mean, basically just telling the whole story on the back of the book. I'm not going to read that shit. I'm going to be honest. Like, I feel like writing a synopsis is very difficult to master, because you're basically combining, like, you're writing about the whole book, telling what the whole book is about without telling what the whole book is about, and at the same time having to pique the interest of your potential reader. Is hard to do. I struggled with it for a while, but I did understand that unless the book is like a multi-perspective book, and I'm being generous with this statement, that book should not have a 3 and 4 paragraph synopsis. That's unacceptable to me. So to me, if you haven't mastered the basic foundation of being an author, which is writing your synopsis, understanding the difference between that and the outline, I ain't gonna read that shit. I just am not. In the times that I have, I was proven right every time. So when I read her synopsis and she was able to pique my interest without telling me what the book was about, I was like, okay, I'm in, I'm invested. Another element I like, well, just to back up a little bit, I'm not going to share with you what the story is about. I feel like a book review should not be an outline. I shouldn't be telling you the storyline. I should be reviewing the book based on certain elements. For me, literary elements are important to me. Like, is the author aware of what a literary element even is? You know what I mean? And that's not to knock anybody else or anything like that. Everybody, you know, like different things, but that's just what I like. So when I saw that Keisha understands how to write a synopsis, I definitely was in. So started reading the book. I like how Keisha uses, she picks different names for her character, like Scotland, Knight, like a white knight or a knight in shining armor. Busy. She uses very different and unusual names, and that really captured my attention. It threw me off at first a little bit, but as I got more and more into the story, Scotland wasn't a country. Scotland was a person, you know. Knight was a person. Busy was a person. So I love that. As far as what I look for specifically in a book when I review it, or when I'm reading it per se, I'm looking looking at character development, number one. Has this author made me care about this character, or is this author basically just placing their character in different high stress situations and passing it off as a story? Storytelling is an art. It's not something that everyone can do, and that's the one thing I kind of hate about like the self-publishing world, is that it gives everyone access to be an author, and everyone is not an author. I'm sorry, everyone doesn't understand how to write a story. No shade, it is just what it is, you know what I mean? And I look for character development, I look for motifs and themes, I look for what else? Archetypes. I look for foreshadowing. I love foreshadowing. I love foreshadowing. Those are the things that I look for as a reader, and those are the things that help me determine or decide whether the book that I'm reading is a good book. And Keisha gave me all of those things. She made me care about the characters. She gave information on both of them separately prior to Scotland and Knight's introduction. I like how she transitions. It's a multi-perspective book. I like how she transitions between the characters. I like how she understands that she does not have to use monologue to push the story along per se. Like some books you'll read, it'll say, and the character said this, then the character said that, then the character said this, then the character said that. And to me, those are what I call C-spot run books. Like, you know, remember those books from back in the day when our mom was coming up, our mom and dad were coming up? C-spot run, run spot run, C Jane run. Like, those books remind me of that. She has a way with words. Like, she knows how to structure a sentence. Like, a lot of books have like awkward sentence structures. Like, it'll say, and as she was pulling up her nylon, she was crying and trying to call Barry on the phone, but Barry was not answering the phone, and she just didn't know what to do. And as a matter of fact, she thought about it, and then she said, I'm not going to call Barry again. Like, literally, I have read books that had like run-on sentences, just like the word uses was awkward. Every sentence was, as she was doing this, as she was running the water, as she was closing the door, as she was combing her hair. And it's just like, you got to break that up a little bit. You cannot be like monotonous. Like, that is going to turn your reader off. So I really like that. I really like that the book, it was not slow paced. That's not to say that there was something popping off every 5 seconds. Those type of books get on my nerves, because like I say, they're not depending on their storytelling skills. They're just depending on placing their characters in Jerry Springer type situations, and then that's not a good book to me. I'm sorry, like, you gave me nothing. Everything you gave me was like very, very shallow. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about this character. I don't care if they're about to jump off a damn bridge and they went bungee jumping and they found out their baby daddy wasn't really their baby daddy. And I mean, I don't care about any of that, just simply because you didn't give me the character development to care about it. Keisha's very good. She's very good with that, and I like that about her. I like how she foreshadows. She doesn't give it to you all at one time, and she gives it to you subtly. You know what I mean? Like, very, very subtly. She'll give you in Paper Heart, for instance, and I'm not going to call the character's name, but there was a character that just was moving very, very shady against Scotland. And it kind of made you say, but then at the same time, it wasn't so much that it gave it away that you were expecting something or a particular behavior or action of this character later on down the line. But that's what foreshadowing is supposed to do. It's supposed to touch and go, you know? So I love that she did that. I love that she had archetypes in her book. She had the hero, so to speak. She had like the nurturing person. She had the antagonist. just a lot of different elements. She had a lot of themes and motifs in her books. Abandonment, insecurity, trust. You know, she had all of that. She gave me just what I needed. She gave me just what I needed for this book. And for me to have not read in 4 years, I am just so excited. I'm so ecstatic. Like, my whole day, I'm just going to be walking on the clouds all day today, just because the first book that I touched in 4 years was a great book. And it just satisfied me in every way that I could be satisfied as a reader. And the only thing that I will say, Keisha, I really hope that this is a series, Paper Heart, because I would really love to know more about the character Scotland, like what her life was before she got adopted, and not necessarily writing about, making the whole book about her life. Maybe, you know, in part 2, she and Knight going through some things or whatever. Maybe we can catch some flashbacks as to, you know, what her life was like. I really hope, please, Keisha, please write us another story about Scotland at Knight. But in the meanwhile, Keisha, you're going to be taking all of my money because, girl, I'm about to just, like, ravish all of your books. Like, my Kindle library is about to get about 19 more books, girl. So you keep up the good work. I love your book. I love you. Best wishes to you. Also, Keisha also has her own publishing company, Color Me Paint. So you guys check her out. Check out all of her books. I'm going to continue to review a few more of them. And also, just to let you know, Keisha, you inspired me. I didn't really have a direction for my channel, what I wanted to do. But this book has inspired me to make this a book review channel. So, girl, just thank you. Just thank you. You really just don't know, like, how much your story, like, touched me. I can relate to Scotland. That's another thing I left off. Very important for your reader to relate to the characters in the book. Not necessarily that they had to have gone through the same exact situations, but there's something relatable about that character. And for me, I feel like everyone can relate to Knight and to Scotland. If you ever have wanted to get up out of a situation and you just keep encountering barriers and closed doors and just that yearning in your heart, if you ever had that yearning in your heart to want to do something different with your life and you just really didn't know how to do it, or you encountered obstacles, you're definitely going to relate to Scotland. If you have ever come from one socioeconomic status and you've been propelled into another one, and that's a whole different world, and you're struggling to be true to yourself, but at the same time still keep what you have acquired, you're going to relate to Knight. So just to see these two characters come together, it was magical, guys. So anyway, check Keisha Ervin out, Keisha, Ervin with the E. She's on Color Me Pink, that's her channel on YouTube, Pink with the Y. Also Color Me Pink Publications. If you look her up on Amazon, you will find all of her books that she has published. Best wishes to you, girl. I'm claiming greatness for you, for your books, for your web series, everything. Like, I'm really your #1 fan, girl. So best wishes to you. Everyone else, have a happy Friday. Drop some comments below if you have read Keisha's books. If you're going to go read one, come back and drop it. Let me know. Let me know, was I lying or not? You can trust me, I'm not lying. Anyway, guys, have a happy Friday and a good weekend. Bye.